Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit betrayawealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
So, like two strangers crossing in the night, we're very transparent on this show. George is in Wilmington. I'm here just north of Atlanta, and George was in the office. And I don't want to give too much away, peel back too much of the curtain, but TV superstar got some more content on the way.
Yeah, you're so kind. I think you're a little drunk or something this morning. Thank you.
No way, man. You kill it on TV. So anyway, we're working on some TV stuff. And George was in the TV studio the whole time. I'm in the radio studio the whole time. Again, we live, 800 miles away from each other? We were 30 feet away.
Yeah.
And didn't even get to see each other.
I did that by design.
They're called restraining orders for a reason, son. I did get a very well-worded Post-it note on my desk when you left. Won't read what that said. So I know you were thinking about me.
Show here.
Betrayawealth.com. Looking forward to, though, some great new content on the way from the team at the Betraya Wealth Group. But you can meet George and the entire team at betrayawealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A wealth.com. And George, your book, Beyond the Headlines, The Impact of Economic Changes from the Betraya Wealth Group is now available. Tell me a little bit more about it. What's the inspiration behind it?
It's really just, people learn differently. Each one of us learns in a different manner, Mark. Some people like to hear things. Some people like to read things, touch them, smell them. And it's just putting down our thoughts, how we do the process. Maybe reading it will help you grasp what we're talking about a little bit better. About having a tax strategy, having an income plan, having expenses, knowing what tomorrow is going to bring. I mean, none of us can promise what tomorrow is. We know that. But we need to do things today to help us be in a better place for tomorrow. Mark, you're a prime example about this, folks. Mark's a really good friend of mine. And I guess I can say this, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Talk about this. He had an unforeseen circumstance come up. And, it's a lot of money he has to spend. But it's about having that plan in place, having to know where I'm going to pull the money. You were going to pull money out of your 401k, right, brother?
Yeah. It's one of those
It's about getting it right.
Yeah. And that's what the book is about, too. It's only 15 pages. It covers the importance of planning, the family approach to wealth management, financial anxiety, which I'm pointing at myself, and so much more. So it's called Beyond the Headlines from the team at the Betraya Wealth Group. It's only 15 pages, and we want to offer it to our radio audience right now at no cost. Just text the word book, B-O-O-K. Text the word book to 302-330-2166. Again, text book to 302-330-2166. And one of the great team members from the Betraya Wealth Group will reach out to you, get an email address, and send you that book. It's no obligation to it. They're not going to make you fill out a form. We need a name and create a login, and we need what was your mother's maiden name and your first pet's name.
But we are going to call you from a number you probably don't know.
That's true.
When you get that, if you don't answer, we're going to leave you a message, and we're going to need you to call back and speak to Jared, Alex, Achilles, so we can get that set out to you so you get to have that. Because I really think it's important. We talk about it every week, Mark, about the importance of planning and looking at tomorrow. Because, folks, I want you to sit there and have the mentality, the world's great. Everything is great. The glass is half full. My job and the team at Betraya Wealth's job is to look at that glass as half empty. I'm the grim reaper, whatever you want to say, but I'm looking for the worst case scenario. So when something occurs, it's okay. We're not happy, but we've planned for it. We did those strategies for this purpose. And it's about making sure that you're in the best place tomorrow when something happens. If you've been in one of those positions where you're not sure about tomorrow, you're concerned, give me a call, 302-330-2166, or text us at 302-330-2166, book, and we'll take care of it. We'll reach out to you, and we'll do our end of this part of the package by calling you and reaching out to you, but you're going to have to pick the phone up and answer us too.
Yeah.
And then we'll get together and we'll start that process and the journey together. This is a family at Betraya Wealth, and we're going to treat you like family by looking at every aspect of your retirement and making sure you're in the right place for that.
And that's pretty much the inspiration behind the book as well, all talking about the family, taking care of your family. Again, the book is called Beyond the Headlines, The Impact of Economic Changes, and this is from the Betraya Wealth Group. If you'd like a copy of it, again, text the word book to 302-330-2166, or you can call. We have a representative standing by right now. Exact same number. Again, 302-330-2166. So you mentioned it, and let's peel back the curtain a little bit. I've got to get some major oral surgery done next week. Now, long story short, call it genetics. Call it I was just lazy when I was a kid, didn't take care of my teeth like I should have. But I have horrible teeth. I've got 6 fake teeth right up front. They are beautiful. So proud to have these teeth. About 3 months ago, sitting at dinner, one of my implants fell out.
Oh.
And I don't mean the tooth fell out, the cap fell out. The entire screw and everything fell out into my plate of lasagna. Well, this can't be good.
No, I don't know about that.
So then I told the waiter, there's a tooth in my food. No, I'm just kidding. Got a discount. Free tiramisu.
Yes, please. How do I claim that one?
So,
check the kitchen staff.
Everybody smile. Who's missing a tooth? Go to my dentist, my cosmetic dentist, the people who put my teeth in. I was like, what is happening here? They said, well, Mr. Owens, you're losing bone density in your cheeks. I was like, well, that can't be good. They're like, well, do you smoke? No. You do tobacco? No. Do you do like in those little Zen pouches? No, it's not my world. Whatever. Teach his own. Said, all right, well, it's genetics. Okay, what are my options here? Well, eventually, you're going to start losing all of those implants because they're losing the hook into your bones. It's like, oh, God, this is going from bad to worse. So long story short, I got to get a bridge put in. So they're essentially pulling every single tooth. They're pulling them all out from the top. Then they're putting new posts in, putting new screws in, and I'm getting a bridge done. It ain't cheap.
No.
We were going to get Gretchen a new car this summer because hers is about 15 years old, but instead Mark's getting new teeth.
Well, you'll have a lot more drive out of those teeth than she will out of that car. So that's a positive.
I'll get 1 million miles on these teeth.
Yeah.
I'll get 1 million miles on her car. And George, it's like something that we talk about every single week here on Family First Retirement. The speed bumps in life that you are not prepared for. You would ask me 3 months ago, 4 months ago, do you think you'd have to get a loan? And I'll tell you, for $50,000 to get new teeth? No, I didn't think I'd have to. But here we are. I wasn't prepared for this. I'm still in my accumulation phase right now. This was not on my radar. Now, we got a couple of loans. It's going to get taken care of. But you are right, George. There was a moment there where I'm looking at I've got a Roth. I was looking at my 401k. Do I borrow from that? How bad is that going to damage all the work that I've already done? George, if people come to you and they're in the same situations, how do you handle it?
Once again, when we plan, when we work together, when we do strategies, and that word strategies is because it's a procedure to get in the right place, answer those questions. I always say the what if moments. What if Alex or Jared say, Dad, I need a new roof.
Mm-hmm.
I need to have that funds available. What if I need new teeth? I need to have those funds available. And it's about the planning process. I want you to think the glass is half full. You worked hard, Mark. You worked hard out there. But reality is that my job is to think that glass is half empty. And how we're going to make sure that if something happens, it keeps it grow and be in a better place for you. It really starts with the planning process. Having an income plan, Mark. Having a tax strategy. And I think what makes this really important and why Portray Wealth is such a good fit, and I'm so proud of it being my company, is that there's a lot of advisors out there right now.
Yeah.
Where they want to do one thing with you. They want X. Give me your 401k and let's do something with it. Is the 401k your only part of your retirement in your life?
Shouldn't be.
No. To me, that's a transactional advisor. They want to get this one thing and they'll never talk to you again.
Right.
That's not how I run my family. We're going to see how we're going to invest your funds. We're going to talk about Social Security. We're going to talk about long-term care. We're going to have those tax strategies in place to take advantage of the law that we know to be true right now, and how we can position ourselves to be in the best place possible, not just today, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, the 90,000 hours in retirement, because it's so important to be lined up correctly. So if you're sitting there having people say, give me your 401k and we'll talk about everything else later, give me a call. Let's sit down and talk about it. 302-330-2166. 302-330-2166. Let's take that step together. Because, Mark, you're a heck of a lot more than your 401k, your thrift savings, or your 403b.
Yeah.
I always say it to men, really, because being a man, I think about Leslie.
Sure.
I really worry about my wife. My wife, my mom was was a priority, and we know what happened with my mom. My sisters. So when I'm planning for things, I'm not worried about you per se. I'm worried about all those people around you. I'm worried about your husband, your wife, your children, your grandchildren, your dog, your church. That's what your legacy is. And having strategies put in place, we can set up to be any way you want to be. Give me a call, 302-330-2166, or stop by the office here at 501 Silverside Road, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. Walk in. Let's have a conversation. But let's start asking those questions so we can give you the answers you need to move forward.
It's the Family First Retirement Plan. And this weekend, if you've saved $250,000 or more for your financial future, that initial consultation, it's no cost, it's no obligation. We're going to make it pretty easy for you this weekend. So you want to make the phone call, want to start getting this conversation started, you can text the word PLAN, PLAN. Text the word PLAN to 302-330-2166. We'll have a representative from the Preparedness Wealth Group reach back out to you to begin this conversation. Even if you need to say plan, but don't call me until Monday, hey, that's perfectly acceptable as well. Yep. But if you're listening this weekend, it means that it's on your mind, and George Politarhos wants to help. 302-330-2166. George, what would you say to somebody that's in the situation that I'm in and they want to borrow from their 401k to help pay for an emergency?
Stop. Let's take a breath. Let's stop the muscle, the kick in the stomach mentality that I have to do this right away. That's the only answer I have. Because a lot of times, folks, it's not. All right? We need this. Plain and simple. How are we going to do it? How are we going to get the funds we need to fix our situation? It's about having someone sit on the other side. And I love working with Ernie Calais, my CPA in-house. This is what we do every day. Because your first reaction is, I'm going to take away from that 401k or that TSP.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a hardship. I'll take a loan. I'll pay it back. It's not the most efficient way to do taxing for taxes to do that. It's not the most efficient way to do that for your retirement. So let's take a breath, think about it, and let us help you look at other alternatives. We'll go through A, B, and 3. And if A, B, and 3 don't work, then we can go to 4, which might be taken from our 401k. It might be. Mark brought up a point. Should I take from my Roth?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? We can take from the Roth with no problems. The principal we put in. Walk away clear and free. Maybe that's a more suitable solution to the problem. We are so damn set that something happens, you have the jerk reaction.
Knee-jerk reaction, 100%. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. But George,
we're all the same.
I was losing sleep at night. I know this is a cliche, and I'm really not trying to be dramatic. But when I got the bill from this and understanding how much, and this is something that has to be done, I legitimately was losing sleep at night, not knowing how I'm going to pay for this.
And I need it. It's not a want, right? We talk about there's needs and there's wants. It's not a want. Mm-hmm. I don't want a new set of golf clubs.
Yeah.
I don't want X, Y, Z. I need this.
I need teeth.
You need teeth. And people, I always kid with Mark. He's a very good friend. I love him to death. But in the Atlanta market, he is the face of the Braves to this day. We walked downtown one day and people were like, oh my gosh, you're Mark Owens. I'm like, it's like the Chiclet Man here. What are you talking about, Mark Owens?
It's the teeth.
It's Mark.
They know me from the teeth.
That's exactly right. You're that Chihuahua. But they know, and that's his livelihood. Mark, we've all been in this place.
Yeah.
All of us. If anyone out there says, I've never had to worry about that,
it's coming.
You're a liar.
It's coming.
Yeah. Stop lying to everybody else. We've been there.
So it's also, George, it's also the conversation about putting together a long-term care plan as well, because it's something that a lot of adults push off until the very end. You don't think you need it until you need it. And that's part of that conversation with the Family First Retirement Plan. Real quick, that number, 302-330-2166. Again, 302-330-2166. That initial consultation, no cost, no obligation this weekend with George Politarhos. Tell me about the importance of having that long-term care and that medical plan put together.
What's our biggest concerns as we get older? A, healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
B, long-term care. C, taxes. And they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
I think taxes are something that advisors do not address or speak about nearly enough because they look at that transactional advisor mentality. Talk to your CPA about taxes. Folks, you talk to the team together so all the wheels go in the same way. I don't need to worry about a will. I'll go talk to John Smith about a will. You need a will. You need a trust put in place, and you have it under one roof when you do that. But that long-term care, I'm too young for it. I'm too old for it. I always say this, and it sounds terrible, Mark. Stop making excuses. I'm not ready. I'm too young to have long-term care. Folks, I'm 59. My wife is 61. We have our long-term care plan in place where if something happens to us, the income stream for that never stops. My wife or I can be in a facility or need care for 10 years, 15 years, and that check will be there every day, every month. I have customers that are 70 years old. Guess what they're doing? We're getting long-term care because there's good news, Mark. You're living longer.
All right.
Bad news is,
what's that?
You're living longer.
Son of a gun.
You got to plan for this, folks. Get your heads out of the sand and think tomorrow I can do it. Mark, tomorrow, 3 months ago, was not something you thought about.
Nope. And here we are
So give
now.
us a call at 302-330-2166. You know, one of the things I don't think we talk enough about is taxes. It's a nasty 5-letter word. It's one of our biggest concerns. Hey, Mark, question for you. I'm going to ask you questions, see how much you know. If that's
Let's
all right,
go.
my friend.
All right, here we go.
How many people do you think when they go into retirement don't plan on taxes? How does it affect them, good or bad?
So how many people in retirement don't think that taxes are going to affect them? Probably 30% of adults think that Uncle Sam's going to retire with them.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in my experiences, most people, by not having a tax strategy in place, are losing thousands of dollars and losing money every day, every month to the government. I personally think I can do better with my money than Uncle Sam can.
Yeah.
But having a tax strategy can help us line things up in a better way to be in a better place for tomorrow. I don't know if you picked up on it earlier, folks. We talk about the 90,000 hours of retirement. Most people, 30, 40 years, you work 90,000 hours at a job, a third of your life. We have the next third, this third of your life
Yeah.
for another 90 to 100,000 hours. What are we going to do with it? You're going to sit and work and start taking money out of your 401k, your TSP, your annuity, haphazardly, and just giving money back to the government? I'm not. Are you going to take Social Security today or not think about when to take it and give back money to the government? I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
The government has enough of your money. Don't ever forget that. I love my country. I love the United States.
Yes,
Greatest
sir.
country in the world.
Amen.
I don't really like the way the government spends my damn money.
Amen again.
Having a tax strategy, we're keeping more money in your pocket than we're giving it back to them. And you need to think about that. You need to have a strategy in place, doing things today that are going to help us tomorrow. Doing that legacy planning. We can use tax strategies to do a legacy for your children. Archer, we're using it to do a plan for my grandson, making sure that when the time comes and I'm called home, that Leslie, my wife, Mark, your wife, folks, your husband, your wife, your kids, get to keep my money and be okay. That's pretty important.
Yeah.
But it starts with this strategy. It starts with an income plan, tax strategy, Social Security, long-term care, wills, trusts, covered it out. And you need to step up and stop putting your head down thinking, I kid one of my sisters. I don't know if I should say this or not.
Yes, you should.
But I kid one of my, I love Winnie the Pooh. I have always loved Winnie the Pooh.
Learn something new every day from you, George Politarhos.
Oh my gosh, I'm a little kid. I call one of my sisters Eeyore. And if you ever watched Winnie the Pooh, folks, how you doing today? Oh, hello, I'm looking for my tail. I don't know what. That is one of my sisters. And I'm not going to mention which one of my 9 sisters, but one of my sisters. And you can't be like that. You got to be Tigger almost.
Yep.
Where you're hopping around. Pulsing. That's what this is about. Planning for tomorrow, being ready to go, and accepting where we're at and where we're going to go, and getting the help to do it. 302-330-2166, or go to Patria, Patria, wealth.com, and let's start that process together. Because you know what, Mark? You did a great job.
Yep.
You built a huge amount of money. You've saved this money. You've squirreled it away. Now's the time to start thinking how we're going to start using this money when we get to retirement. Give me a call, 302-330-2166, or text us, PLAN, at 302-330-2166, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah. Again, that word is plan, PLAN. shoot the team at the Betrayal Wealth Group. Shoot them a quick text, say the word plan, or reach back out to you. Get you set up to sit down with George Politarhos. And much like Winnie the Pooh, he won't be wearing pants. And then I'm kidding. He's very professional. The Betrayal Wealth Group. But we invite you to text word plan to take advantage of the Family First Retirement Plan. And if you've saved at least $250,000 for your financial future, that initial consultation, it's no cost, it's no obligation. You knew.
I'm thinking about Winnie the Pooh right now. I've never thought about no pants. And I'm thinking about myself walking around right now with no pants on. I'm like, oh my God, me and Winnie are the same.
Every day is a casual day at the Betrayal Wealth Group.
Oh, Lord.
Again, 302-330-2166. Give the team a call. We have a representative standing by, or text the word plan to that same number. You know, you asked me earlier what percentage of people go into retirement not thinking about taxes or thinking obligations will be less. Is it 30%? That's what I said. Do you feel like that's about right, or is it more?
That's
is it
about
less?
right. Because you know what?
That feels
I have
high.
muscle memory.
Yeah.
I have muscle memory. I've gone to work. They've taken taxes out of my pay for me all this time. What do I have to worry about? I got all these write-offs. I used to have a house to write off and this. You don't have a house anymore, right? You paid it off.
Yeah.
We have to sit and think how we're going to plan accordingly. Having the right strategy in place for taxes, Mark, is huge. It's life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Small businesses, your health insurance for small businesses, a lot of it's written off. You're a small business. You don't have a 401k as a rule. You don't have any long-term care. You don't have that big company behind you.
Yeah.
We can help you use that and build your own pension plan with tax strategies. We can help tax strategize and help pay for your long-term care through the business and maximize your benefits about this. If you're sitting there, and so many of us think I can DIY it. Because if Google says it must be true.
It has to be.
You're not a chip in the computer. You're a person. You're a family. Your situation's different than the guy down the street. And you need someone that's going to look at it in that way and work with you and have that all four wheels in that car go in the same direction. It really comes down to that. Because this is all your money. And I use Leslie and I. Leslie and I do everything together. We are a team in every aspect. Our retirement works together. The tax strategies work towards retirement income plan, which work toward Medicare, which works towards long-term care. We're all in the same direction with those wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a smoother transaction. It's a smoother way to go forward. When you have a question about your long-term care, who did I get that from? Was it from Sam or is it from Sean? Oh, it's Petrea, George and Tina Petrea Wealth. What about my taxes? What's the strategy? Oh, it's from George and the team at Petrea. That is what you want. Our hands are talking, right? We're all talking together with this and working as a team.
Yeah.
Give us a call at 302-330-2166.
Insurance and annuities offered through George A. Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.